of the Feinics podcast. Welcome back. I know we usually podcast on Wednesdays, but this Wednesday was the happy anniversary of the birth of America, go traitorism, and all that fun shit. We got to blow some shit up. It was 4th of July. So, obviously we did not cast on 4th of July because everybody deserves their barbecue, they're blowing shit up, and just basically relaxing, including me. So, we're broadcasting tonight. Yeah, we're doing it a little late. Why? Because it's Saturday night. People got things to do. And if you're here watching with us, awesome. So, I'm Jade. I'm your special ed host for the night because I'm not quite feeling myself today. But I got a guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Fernando. I'm this every day right here.
Sadly.
And hope to enjoy.
Yes. Fernando's been on a couple. Well, actually, you've only been on like one or two. Was it one?
I was the supposed.
He's been on one infamous Who You Got Challenge conference that to this day still kind of lives down in infamy.
Man.
And we don't go into those details, but because of that, he wasn't allowed on the cast for a little while.
I was banned, period.
You were banned. Okay.
I was banned.
And now you get to be on my cast. So welcome. Today we're going to be covering a few topics. I know last week I said I wanted to talk about gargoyles and the fact that, was it Jordan Peele wants to do a live action adaptation. That's going to be talked about next week because a couple things have gone down over the past few weeks or so that are just so prevalent that I feel like we need to open up a dialogue and talk about these things that are actually going on because humanity is its own worst goddamn enemy, and we're not even trying to stop a human apocalypse at this point. We are like rushing head first in a fucking mock Formula One speed racer. We're just, fuck it. We're going. We are so going.
We're going to have a purge. Oh, the purge is going to happen. You never know.
We've spoken of this, of what happens if there's a purge.
Yes, we did.
I honestly, I think I would have way too much fun. So having a purge with me is probably not the best idea.
Oh, but still, it might happen. You never know. Look how far we've gone.
True. So I'm drinking mead because I love mead. It's delicious and actually so fucking good.
I love that mead.
I really do. But a couple of things that I want to touch on. If you hear that rustling sound in the background, that's my dogs who have decided they wanted to play. So I apologize if you hear ding in the background. That's my puppies. So once again, we are broadcasting from the actual Feinics nest. So this is home. This is where we are.
Yes.
And one of the other reasons why we're podcasting late tonight is because, well, I was out playing Pokemon Go all day.
Sandbagging.
While he was at work, and there was a special event for only like a 3-hour window where a certain Pokemon was out, but you get a special variation of it. Those of you who play Pogo should know about it. It was the shiny Articuno. And then tomorrow we're going to be out all day doing it again because it's Community Day, which is like special Pokemon Day for us. And it's fun. And we get to hang out with like a bunch of our friends, and it was cool. And then I went out to dinner with a couple of my Pokemon friends, and we had a nice time, nice conversation. And
Squirtle Squad.
That's tomorrow. Squirtle Squad's going to be great because we're going to have the sunglasses. It's going to be good.
Yes, it will.
So other than that, that's why we're doing the late cast. But I did not want to go another week without talking to you guys because I'm hoping to establish a flow here. I want consistency. So here it is. We're doing issue number 6, and we're going to be touching on how humanity is a bunch of fucking retards. Okay. Fernando and I both work certain types of jobs. We don't need to know. We're not going into detail. But both of us put us in close proximity with the human condition. His is a close proximity of a human condition in a certain way. Mine, I basically I deal with the human condition at its absolute worst. So basically, we're exposed to a lot of different things in the world that most people wouldn't see, and it kind of gives us a different outlook, I think.
An outlook and opinion, in a way. Habits, and at the same time, you could look at it as seeing the other side of the coin, with the other side that people don't talk about, or people they talk about, and we try to bring up in one way or another.
Right. So, because of that, I kind of feel like you and I may have
differences of opinion.
Not just differences of opinion, honestly. I think I'm going to call it experience. It's just, honest to God, a different experience.
Okay.
I'll
go with that.
I make no secrets about what I do in my day-to-day life offline. And most of my friends who know me in person know, what I'm capable of and what happens a lot in my job. Right. His job, a lot of people don't realize the insanity that goes into it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, it's big. So, in all honesty, I'm hoping that this is actually working because I don't know if it's actually working. Anybody that's just joining us, let me know if the technical stuff is actually working.
Sorry, mic check.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. But I don't know. Take it from here for a second while I share this on all of our pages.
Well, like you said, we see the other side of the coin, as people would say, and today is we see everything in the media, we see everything out there, and it's
hard.
It's become now hard. We as a country have the freedom of expression. Freedom of speech, and the freedom of an opinion, freedom of press. With the way I would say in the last 2, 3 years, I would say, give or take.
Yeah.
Give or take 2. Let's just say give or take 2 years. How can I say? People's opinion has taken a turn for the worse. Freedom of the press has gone, I would say, out of bounds. And
I don't know if I would call it out of bounds so much as I would say that certain civil liberties that were inherent to the press have been taken away. And at the same time, it's been encouraged for the press to mislead and instigate certain things that, normally would not be a bigger deal than it already is.
Yeah.
A lot of things, a lot of people, I try not to get very political. I try to stay away from it because honestly, y'all, some people I hate to use the term snowflake, so I will not. But some of y'all are just so fucking oversensitive.
Yes.
That it's I can't say boo to you because you'll immediately cry about it being racist because I'm white. Now, here's the difference. I don't believe that, people are born racist. I believe it is a learned behavior. The way I grew up was I was taught from an extremely young age to tolerate everyone. Doesn't matter your sex, your race, your gender, your gender identification, your sexual orientation. I was taught it doesn't matter who you are, what you do. If you're an asshole, then you are an asshole. And if you act like an asshole, you deserve to be called out, yes, and treated as an asshole. Now, if you're a good person, then you're a good person. But this is how I was taught. This is how I was raised. And I get a lot of shit for it because I'm white. So everybody says to me that not everybody is allowed to grow up with that point of view. And I will agree with you. I can't talk from anybody else's experience because I can't live your life. I could not experience your experiences. Just like you can't sit there and say how you grew up is the same way that I grew up.
No.
So talk about it.
Everyone, like I said, like she said before, everyone grows up differently. Everyone, certain traits or learned behaviors and certain things. As we grow up, we develop, and it's very hard to understand where it came from, or sometimes it's very easy to see where it comes from. It depends on how well you know the person, whether it's work related, privately, just on social media. It's
then again, you also got to take into effect that social media wasn't around when we were growing up.
True.
A lot of these things actually came around when we were already, I would say, semi-adult. MySpace was around when we were in high school. Some of you youngins don't even know what MySpace is. We had like Zynga and live, there was like a live journal. We had live journal, and these were the AOL, and these were the beginnings of social media. Facebook was originally intended for people that were just in college to keep in touch.
Transfer notes,
schoolwork, stuff like that. Cheating, yeah. But that was what Facebook originally came out as. Like, you could not get an account if you were not in a college.
You needed a college.
You needed a college email to sign up for Facebook. And then later on, when it became a publicly traded company, people that were not in college or just whatever became able to get a Facebook account. And then even then, they still had the limit of you had to be 13 years old originally to even get a Facebook account. Doesn't matter. 13? Of course, there's ways. 13. There's even ways around that, obviously. And there was obviously like 11 and 12 and younger ages on the computer.
True.
But this is like, so for us, a lot of the things that we see now, like in excess, we would not have known about back when we were younger, back when we were in our teenage years, our early 20s, back when we were in junior high school or even grade school. We would not have seen a lot of the things that get published on social media and in the news now, because that's just not what our technology was back then.
Well, then you also have YouTube that pointed out a lot of things that I don't even remember from when I was younger. And then you see a classic clip of something that's like, wow, I did not know that, or I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way technology is now and advanced, it's like, really, I would never think of something that way.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very glad there wasn't social media back in the day, because a lot of the shit that I used to do did not belong on social media.
No.
Oh my God, no. I'm sure you pulled some shit back in the day.
No comment.
Plead the fifth?
Times 1,000.
Plead the fifth.
Times 1,000.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is what we're talking about. And also for us, now you have the Fire Stick, and you have the Alexa app, and you have all these things that are at your fingertips. All this information that's just at your fingertips at all time. And I just activated the actual Alexa. I activated it by saying its name. But you have all these things at our fingertips, and we are so much more connected as a human race that you would think that we would be a lot more tolerant of everybody's fucking background and race, and just learn to.
But not even social media. Look what some classics right now. We're in the midst of the World Cup.
The World Cup. That's all I can hear about every day.
Which brings many nations from all over the world a lot of joy and happiness, because
Hi, Spiro.
Brings a lot of joy and happiness. If you could watch TV. If you're not there, first of all, if you're not there, I always recommend put it on your bucket list. Go to a game or go to an event, and you're going to have some of the most fun you've ever had. And meet a lot of people.
I've never been to a soccer game.
I have.
I don't know the amazingness that is soccer, apparently. He's trying to educate me because my sports are football, hockey,
American football.
American football.
This is
like NFL football. That's my sports is hockey and football. Like that's what I love. I'm okay with baseball, but I prefer going to a live game. Fernando has been teaching me about soccer, which to the rest of the world is football. Yeah. And it's the World Cup, and I didn't even know that the World Cup was not like every year. I didn't realize it was every 4 years like the Olympics.
Yes.
So I'm learning. Hi. I'm learning a lot about World Cup, and it like to go on your.
Well, like first thing is bravo. I did not know this. I actually learned this maybe about a week or two. Bravo to the people of Senegal. Senegal. I'm sorry, I'm very tired. I did not know they started a tradition that I wish maybe a lot of people should continue. Is once the game is over. I'll get it in a minute. Once the game is over, they stay and clean up the stadium.
Oh, the Japanese do it too.
Yes, they joined in later on, and I think I heard Germans did it, people of Russia did it, and I'm not sure who else. But bravo. I think that should be a tradition that should be carried on.
In most major stadiums.
And in most, not only major stadiums, but sports in general.
Yeah, because it shows good sportsmanship.
Not only shows good sportsmanship, but at the same time, it's respect.
Yeah.
We've come to your nation. We've come to party, hang out, watch soccer. Okay, now we made a mess. We're going to clean it up. I think, like I said, bravo to that.
Yeah.
Second, the World Cup brings is supposed to be a time of great fun. The one major sport where all nations compete, and you are the one true champion.
Hi, Eddie. Big Money Eddie joining us from the Florida edition. How you doing? Hey,
Eddie.
Eddie says, I want the old empires to collide. England versus France for the finals. They both made it through.
They both made it through. Eddie, I'm going to disappoint you in this. I think Belgium is going to take and beat France.
It's possible.
England, I could see them in the finals. They really played well today against. They really played well today.
I think America's still there too. I don't think they got knocked out yet.
No, America, no.
Did they?
Yeah, they never got in.
Oh, whatever. Well, I know that recently there was a big upset with Colombia being knocked out.
There was many. This year had many upsets. Spain pissed me off because I put money on them. Thank you very much, Spain.
Good to know that you spend money we don't have on a game.
It was $10.
I don't care.
It was a bracket.
It's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spain pissed me off, but still, it's fun. It's also fun. You can see all the cultures and everything like that. And then, like I said, 2026, I am making major plans. I'm gonna
they're gonna be here.
They're gonna be in America.
They're gonna be in America. Guys,
sorry,
dogs.
I'll take care of it in a minute. Yeah. I'm going to a lot of bars. I'm going to be a lot of
Finish
people.
making your point, and then go put the dogs outside.
But overall, the World Cup brings peace, fun.
Or it's supposed to foster peace and fun and general
good sportsmanship
throughout the nations of the world. And this brings us back to our original topic where it's like, this is a major event, just like the World Olympics are a major event. And we're like, there's, rah, sis, boom, bah for your country, but have respect for one another. And that's what a lot of these soccer players that exhibit, and even the soccer fans are exhibiting, is a mutual respect for somebody else who comes from a different culture, who may be of a different background, maybe of a different race, and they have respect for one another. Why can't we as fucking Americans have the same fucking respect?
Agree.
You know, like, we're a nation that's based on becoming, our big thing was we are a melting pot. Like, we welcome you're tired, you're sick, you're poor. I mean, it's on the fucking Statue of Liberty, for fuck's sake. And we can't even tolerate our own people.
It's hard. It's very, very hard. Like, tolerance is basically, it's almost zero tolerance for everything.
And it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. It's at a point where today, I'm going to use an example. Today, I don't like the Chino in charge. I've made this very clear. I also didn't like his opposition. So honestly, it was like, which is the lesser of two evils when it came to whatever. But
it's like getting stabbed or getting shot.
Would you rather a piece of shit tied in a bow, or would you rather the piece of shit to be diarrhea? That's basically how I view it. And my whole thing is, he's been pulling a lot of shit that most of the things that he's been doing has been getting swept under the rug or maybe even ignored, because of all the other things that are in the media right now. A lot of it having to be with, I'm just going to come out and say it, with white people being assholes and thinking that racism is okay because the Cheeto in charge is a fucking psychopath racist. Guys, it's not. It is not okay. Racism is never okay. No. You know, and for the stupidity that these motherfuckers are doing, you know, yeah, well, you know what? You deserve to lose your fucking jobs. You deserve to be blasted on social media so people know that you are a fucking racist. People, like, how many people that we know has called me a racist without even knowing me? Why?
For no reason.
Because I'm white.
Yeah, it's happened. Mm-hmm. But piggyback what you're saying, she calls him the Cheeto in charge. I like the terminology 45. He played a card. And unfortunately,
he stoked a fire that didn't need to be stoked.
He played a card that usually, I would say, when the second Bush got elected, he played the fear card. This man played the racist card, or played race in a very, I'm going to say, in a very poor light. Mm-hmm. He set a lot of movements back. He set a lot of progress back.
I mean, he's only been in charge for 533 days. Yes, I am keeping track. Damn. Yeah, only 533 days. Here's the problem. Flint, Michigan has not had clean water for 1,537 days. Mm-hmm. So while it's not the Cheeto in charge's direct problem, if that problem was not rectified by the previous administration, then he's the one that should have. Well, and he hasn't.
And not only that, we also have in New York Sandy victims that are still homeless. People in Louisiana still affected by Hurricane Katrina.
Puerto Rico. Oh, I don't even need to say anything else. Puerto Rico. Okay, I mean, these are all major things that are going on right now. You know, I mean, the Cheeto in charge
but yet we still bitch about the wall.
Exactly. You know, I mean, and the Cheeto in charge is literally sitting here. Most people don't realize the honeybee was added to the endangered species list. I've been screaming, he can attest, for almost 3 years now. I have been yelling about how the honeybee is going extinct.
And I've heard from other radio shows, science, national, that, the bee, if the bee dies,
we're dead.
We're dead. The bee cannot be afforded to be on the endangered species list. So I understand. It's annoying. People get allergic to the bee stings and everything like that.
I'm allergic to bees, and I'll still be the first person to sit there and say, give me a bee.
Pollen, but unfortunately, there's a life cycle. And just because we as a species don't like another species,
we kill
it. And now we're seeing the repercussions of our actions.
Oh, it gets better.
That's another big problem.
Right. And it gets better because not only has he done the endangered bee, the bee's been added to the endangered species list. We've lost, actually, in the last 533 days, we've lost the black rhino has gone extinct.
Oh, it was black?
Black rhino. Oh, no, or was it the white?
I thought it was the white.
I think it was the black, because the white rhino, I think, still has one male left.
But not a female. 3
females, but they're all his sisters. Mm-hmm. So they can't breed. And he is actually under armed guard 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on a preserve in Africa because he is the last of his kind. Our grandchildren, like say him and I decided to get married and have kids. Our grandchildren, I like how he says we will. Our grandchildren will probably not see rhinoceroses in their lifetime. They'll probably all be dead.
1 second.
We're gonna go get the dogs. There's a very good chance that the tiger, for a long time was on the endangered species list, has now been moved out of it. But the thing is, and this is where the point I'm making, the Cheeto in charge has now made it legal to bring once endangered species animal parts like ivory, elephant feet, things like that, tiger skins, all of these kind of things has now made it legal to bring this stuff into the United States again. Why? Because his son is a big game hunter. So because it benefits his fucking family, he made it legal again to now traffic in these products that were once banned in the United States, secondary to the fact that we aren't paying attention. Because why? We're watching fucking shit that's going on and having bigger and bigger dividers put between our people.
Well, that's also the media itself. The term controversy equals cash or creates cash has become a very big staple in the market. If there's no controversy,
then there's no money.
There's no money. There's no one paying attention. It's like, oh, this happened. Who cares?
Oh, straight up. You think I'm not going to get a lot of shit for putting up this episode? Oh, I know I am. Right. I'm waiting for it. Okay? My whole thing is, the biggest thing in the media right now is about how racist people that originally were keeping their racism underneath the rug have now come out of the woodwork and they're doing dumb shit. Like, is there a reason why Barbecue Becky had to call the fucking cops on a family that were barbecuing in a park, doing nothing, not bothering anybody?
No.
Is there a reason why Permit Patty had to call the cops on a fucking, what was she, like 8 or 9, selling water?
No.
You know, like, is there a reason why Pool Patrol Paul fucking called the cops on one of his neighbors because she was swimming with her daughter?
No.
No. Is there a reason why Swimsuit Sue did the same thing to a black couple that was enjoying their time at a pool?
No.
No. And I'm sure there's like, oh yeah, let's not forget about Burrito Bob, who tried to call the cops on a man who was sitting on a BART train in San Francisco enjoying a burrito. Granted, it is against the rules of the BART train to eat, but this guy fucking went ape shit about it and was like, all over him. But these are the things that we're focusing on.
And then it was the 2 Starbucks guys.
Oh, the 2 Starbucks guys that were just waiting for their friend who got arrested.
And Starbucks, I still say, got very lucky.
Starbucks is a piece of shit. I don't even drink their coffee. I think it's disgusting. But like, these are the kind of things that are happening right now that are taking precedent. Like Trump at a fucking rally on July 4th was making fun of the Me Too movement, literally stating that it doesn't exist. Yet meanwhile, he has 16 counts from 16 different women of sexual harassment against him,
including a porn star. So it's ridiculous how. But this is what I'm saying.
I'm not blaming Trump for all of this. I'm not. I'm just saying that Trump made it, in these people's minds, okay.
Well, understand, when you are a man in power, people are going to try to bring you down. And then, like I said, but in all honesty, he was an idiot then that I still don't know how.
I had no respect.
I still don't know how he got elected. I'm still trying to figure this one out.
Russia.
Yeah, I'll go with that. How he got elected, I still baffles me. But at the same time, it's sad that this is the representation that our nation, our country, that we've had friends and family fight for, and now it's represented by an idiot, a madman. And this is not originally the reason of this cast today. What I wanted to do is open up a dialogue and talk about these things, because today it finally hit home for me in ways that I did not expect. I am not in any way, shape, or form racist. If I hate you, I hate your personality, not your skin color. If I don't like you, it's literally because of who you are. Has nothing to do with what you are. Mm-hmm. Hello, Puerto Rican. Okay, my ex was Filipino. I am very varied in that. All of my friends, one second, Spiro, I will post your comment up. All of my friends come from all walks of life, all different races, all different color, all different sexual orientation, all different sexual identification. Okay. But this person, who I considered a very, very good friend of mine, came out to me today because I posted up a video that was satire, basically
turning around and shedding light on what's been going on.
A joke.
I mean, but while it's not a joking subject, it hit home. Mm-hmm. You know, where it's like, yo, white people, mind your own fucking business, straight up. You know,
not even white people. It's just people in general. Mind your fucking business.
Right. People
worry about your own shit. Don't worry about everybody else.
Right. But because I put this up and I said that this needs to be, you know, mass produced and all this kind of shit, like repeated and for the people in the back kind of a thing. One of my good friends turned around and called me what I never even heard this term, a white apologist. And told me it was very unattractive that I was apologizing for the rest of my race. Anybody that knows me, I don't even apologize for the dumb shit I do. So why the fuck would I apologize for the dumb shit that these motherfuckers are doing? I'm not. They're assholes and they deserve to be called out as such. Like, this is not a representation of the majority.
No.
This is a minority that is being focused on, and it's becoming the representation for the majority because it is so focused on. Go ahead.
It's basically a dick move. That's basically what it is. And, you know, if you're going to do something very stupid or ignorant and anything like that, you should be called out.
That's a big comment.
That is a very big.
Joyce Spiro, who's known me since I was a child, mind you, and will be the first one to tell you about my personality. He says that this is retaliation for Obama. Allow me to explain. All these people today going on racist rants or episodes are doing it as payback for when Obama was president, and a lot of black people were doing the same thing and said, Obama is president, so I can do anything mentality. It's disgusting. And there's another Spiro in the group. I don't know. I don't think so about that. But my whole thing is, retaliation or not, it's still not the way we as a human race needs to act. There's so much bigger problems in this world right now. Like, if the bee dies, we're all going to die. We're losing species left and right. Our oceans are more plastic than they are fish and water.
And now they're saying Antarctica is actually melting.
Antarctica is melting. If Antarctica melts, 90% of we will, like, you remember that fucking movie Waterworld from the 90s? It's gonna fucking happen.
Or the day after tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
And then New York will be basically one big iceberg.
Bye. You know, these are like problems that need to be addressed. Like the fact that Flint, Michigan has no fucking clean water for over 1,500 days. There's the fact that there's oil, that there's animal preserves that are trying to be opened up to big oil so that we can have crude oil pipelines through there. Like, remember what happened a few years ago with the water protectors because they wanted to open up that fucking fracking shit and pipeline through there. Where did all that stuff go? No. What do we focus on?
The wall.
The wall, which is bullshit, by the way. That fucking immigration policy is bullshit. And anybody that supports it, you're bullshit too. But, like, Puerto Rico, I mean, Puerto Rico still has what? There's still no power.
I speak to a lot of people that go. I actually spoke to one person today. He just came back. He was spent 2 weeks out there. And he even said it was not a vacation. It was work. There's a lot of problems over there.
My friend who works there as a dispatcher for emergency response out there, he tells me there's still rolling blackouts.
And now there's another hurricane coming through.
Yeah, another one.
And it's
going to hit Puerto Rico dead on, just the way Maria did.
And you know they're not prepared.
They're not, because they're still not recovered from Maria. So how are they going to be prepared for this one? They're not.
No. But usually they're just. A lot of airports are just being told, go over there, pick them up, and come bring them over.
Right, but that's the other problem. Now, because then add into the fact that Trump's stupid immigration policy, some of these people won't be able to come here for safety, even though Puerto Rico's an American territory. It's its own country, but it's an American territory. You know? But, like, this is the kind of shit that pisses me off. It's like there are the bigger things in this fucking world to focus on, and we're focusing on the dumbest fucking shit, honestly.
It's very sad what we're focusing on. You know, we should be celebrating a lot of things.
Spiro, I love him.
Aww.
I'm not saying my real name, but it's there for everybody to see. I've known Jackie for over 25 years, and I can proudly say she is not racist or prejudiced. What she is a realist, the one friend that you can count on for anything and makes lives better. Thank you. I love you too. Aww. But this is the kind of thing that I wanted to talk about today. And if I had been on the other show, I probably would have gotten screamed at for being a racist. So I'm talking about it on my show. Okay. But this is the kind of thing that pisses me off. There are so many bigger problems in this fucking world. And I'm not saying that these problems are small, because they're not. I'm not in any way, shape, or form minimizing these problems. What I'm saying is, as a collective consciousness of humanity, there's a bigger fucking problem that needs to be addressed.
Yes, and I think there was a recent study that said that no one could live on minimum wage.
No.
The minimum wage currently, at its current state, is not enough.
No, it's not.
And, and they always say there's jobs out there. But here's the problem. These jobs don't pay.
No.
Hell, my job doesn't pay. And I'm supposed to be making a lot of money, but no, I'm getting taxed
on paper,
but I get taxed left and right.
My job, everybody's like, you work this job. How do you not get paid a mint? Easily. My job is the lowest paid municipal service in the entire city. We get paid nothing. I have to work sometimes 16-hour days, 4 or 5 days in a row just to get a livable paycheck.
Yeah.
And you know what the funny part is they don't allow you to do 4 or 5 days in a row.
Nope.
The most you can do is 3. And even then, you still got to go through bullshit just to get those 3 days. And it is ridiculous because we do about 6,000 calls a day. So I'm literally, from the time I walk in and sign on to my terminal, climb into my truck, I'm there. And I'm there. If I'm there for a double, I'm there not just 16 hours. I'm there sometimes for 18 or 20. And then I got to come home, wash everything off, try to decompress, go to sleep, get up and do it again.
And
just
again,
to live.
And again and again.
And yet, I've made also no secret of where I've worked. For over a decade, I've worked in Harlem. Harlem, which is synonymous even across the entire country. You mention Harlem, people know Harlem, New York.
Yes, they do.
Okay? You're going to sit there and tell me that by working in that area for 10 years that I'm not going to see things and learn things that I may not have been exposed to in any other shape or form? I mean... It's
scary.
It doesn't scare me. I ain't scared shit.
Yeah, to other people it's scary.
Right. You take a normal person and put them in the place where I work, they're going to be shitting their boots.
Agreed.
You put any...
You get nervous or they freeze.
Exactly. But, here's the thing. People sit there and tell me that I don't have a varied view. People sit there and tell you that you don't have a varied view because you can only see things a certain way as a Puerto Rican male who grew up in Brooklyn, who works the job that you do. So you can only see things from that one singular point of view, which is not true. Not true.
Well, like I said, it's always... every story has one thing. Your view, my view, and then there's the truth.
A and B, and then somewhere in the middle is what is actually going on.
Yeah. But, the problem is the differences of opinion. And then some people are so stubborn that they feel that their view is the right view.
But the thing is everybody's view is their view.
Exactly. It's their view. But
it doesn't make it right or wrong.
It doesn't make it right or wrong, but there's people who will shout it to the mouth that it's right. Yeah. It's not. There needs to be a level of respect. There needs to be a level of tolerance. And there definitely needs to be a level of open-mindedness.
And education.
Because for all we know, you could speak to somebody today. I could meet somebody tomorrow and learn so much more.
It's true. There's a few things that I learned growing up. One thing was I was always taught from a very young age, you do not know another person's struggle until you take a mile in their shoes. Believe it or not, that's actually... an old Native American proverb where it's you do not know another man's struggle until you walk a mile in their moccasins. I know that's not the exact quote, but You understand where I'm going with this. I learned that literally from the minute I could understand that I was different from some of my friends. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I grew up in a very, like, yeah, it was a nice neighborhood, middle class, but it was very, very diverse. There was a ton of Asian kids, black kids, Spanish kids, and white kids, and we all grew up together. We all went to the same schools. We went to the same grade school, to the same junior high school. It was literally only until high school that we dispersed. Like, so literally from age 5 until age 14, we were all together almost all the time. So this group of people is like basically my basis of, you know, how I learned to do certain things. Like, I learned how to be tolerant of different practices and different traditions and stuff like that. You know, like, you grew up in a where'd you grow up? Tell them where you grew up.
I grew up in between Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and Queens, New York. And, you know, there's always two different sides to everything, but, you know, it was a very good experience. You know, I've seen one side and I've seen the other side of everything. And I met a lot of people, and my range is very diverse, you know, with tolerance of people. And some people even get surprised when I could talk to them and actually sit down and connect and have a full-blown conversation. And the first thing they ask me after the whole conversation is, how the hell did you know all this?
It's true.
And it's like, I met people, I've known people. Give me 1 second.
What?
Cat.
Which cat? Oh, God. Okay. Well, anyways, I mean, I did not mean to turn this episode into a political, like, rah, 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 kind of a thing, because I know that there's a friend of mine that'll turn around and say, well, the reason, like, actually, there's a few people I know that'll turn around and say, well, the reason you protest so much about being racist is because you actually are one. No. I make it my business. I'm not a racist. I'm a humanist. I do not like the way humanity itself as a whole operates. I do not like, I know I'm saying I a lot, but I do not agree with a lot of the things that human beings do. You know? One of the biggest things I learned being a witch is you can't put out this negative fucking energy without getting 3 times the negative energy back. So one of the things I try to do, I don't always succeed. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not fucking a Saint Jade here. Okay. But one of the things I try to do is I try to promote positive energy in almost everything that I do. And I get shit on a lot for it because people say that that's white privilege, that I have the ability to do that because I'm white. No, I have the ability to do that because I'm a decent fucking human being. Mm-hmm. You know, like you turn around, like I've seen him turn around and like something that I would be like, oh, you agree with that because, you know, you're Latino or whatever. And he says, no, you know, like, and just like, he'll turn to me and be like, oh, you must agree with that because, you know, you're white or, you know, I'm Irish Italian. I don't fucking agree with that shit. You know, I mean, a lot of other things I try to tell everybody is look at your history, read your history books, do some knowledge, do some education. This is not the first time. I mean, people like to forget that there were Japanese internment camps in the United States back after the war, or was it during?
I think it was during.
I'm not sure, but I know that there was Japanese internment camps here
the famous actor,
in America.
George Takei.
George Takei was in a Japanese internment camp when he was a child.
He did a show about it.
He did. Yeah, he really did. One of the other things that, like, you know, people like to forget is that hi, Dean. One of the other things that people really like to forget is that back in the day, when after the Civil War, like, ended, black men and women were free, but there's still ways that the majority kept them down, you know. And then the Irish immigration was happening like there because of the Great Potato Famine, and the Irish were treated worse than the freed slaves. I mean, the Irish people and people that came from those, like the British Isles and Ireland and all that, would you believe it or not, are the original slaves of the entire world, because the Roman Empire invaded that part of what was once called Britannia and took them as slaves. You know, I mean, this is a horrible thing, but every single fucking great civilization has had these issues, has had these problems, has had slavery, has had discrimination, has had social castes. There's still some societies that actually cling to those social castes today. And you would think that in this day and age, we're in the year 2018, that we would not be having these issues anymore.
And it's sad that we still have these issues. It's very sad that, like I said before, we made so much progress. And then in the last 2 years have taken such a big step back.
Huge.
And it baffles the mind of like how did we get so far ahead
just to go so far back?
It's confusing. And I think a lot of people are still trying to figure out why are we going through all this? Why are we still doing this? Not everyone's gonna have the answer, and it's just sad.
It hurts.
It hurts.
It really hurts because, like, I don't know. There's one thing I do know is children are not born racist; they're taught.
Yeah.
And it really scares me for the youth of America and the world. Honestly, not just America, that they are being exposed to this, and they're not being taught that it's wrong.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's so much hate and there's so much, it's the
intolerance, hatred. People like, okay, listen.
And then people got to watch what they say. They can't say
the language. By the way, we were saying even before off camera, we were saying that the language of the world, like especially a lot of like derogatory terms, those are words that need to be. I'm not going to say not used because there's some history to a lot of them. What I'm going to say is they need to be explained better to the next generation so they understand the significance of the word.
Or what they say and everything like that. But
I know that words have power.
But I do agree that certain words should not be used at all.
I don't agree with you on that, but
we're not going to go in the whole list. But there's certain words that should not be used at all.
I think that there are certain words that should be educated. People should be, like children especially, and people should be educated about, but not used.
Yeah.
Know about the word.
Exactly.
Don't use the word.
Don't use the word, but not.
Right.
But, to be educated. Because, like I said, everyone complains about education. Then, basically.
Hi, Misfit.
Teach one. Learn
Misfit.
One. Misfit making a guest appearance.
He's making a guest. He's my second guest of the night. No, our language is inherently.
Learn one, teach one.
Yeah, I mean, like my children, if I ever choose to breed, will not be taught that they're superior to anyone because they're not. No. Okay, it's just no. Okay. We're all built of the same thing. And I was having this discussion with one of my close friends today. Our genetics literally are virtually the same. There's only one difference in the genetic code. One. And that is the chromosome that makes me a girl and him a man. That's the only difference in our genetic fucking makeup. We are all literally the same thing. It's the variations and the mutations that give us green eyes, red hair, white skin, brown eyes, brown skin, or tan skin, and gray hair.
What? I caught that.
Graying hair. But these are the things that make us unique. And that's what, yeah, maybe we were made by aliens and whatever else, but like these are the building blocks that make us special and unique. And we should embrace those differences and learn to tolerate everybody else's and embrace their differences so they can in turn embrace yours.
Exactly.
And this is what I'm trying to say with this podcast today. I'm not trying to incite a race war or a race debate or anything like that. Not even close. Okay, no. What I'm trying to do is literally promote acceptance. I'm promoting tolerance. I'm promoting not peace and love because I'm not a fucking hippie.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
What I am promoting and what I am trying to say here is we all need to, as the generation that will soon be in charge, because the baby boomers are dying. The greatest generation are dead or dying. We, Generation X, Generation Y, and the millennials are going to become the ruling body on this planet. And we need to step up, and we need to take charge, and we need to sit there and say, we will no longer tolerate any of these practices that were practiced by our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents. We are the only ones that can make this difference. Mm-hmm. Nobody can make the difference for us.
Evolve, change, you know.
We as a species are evolving every day. Mm-hmm. There are children that are born with abilities that are that were unheard of 30 years ago. There are people that are born with superhuman abilities almost every day. These are things that the human race is evolving. We need to evolve our consciousness with it. And that's all I'm trying to say here is like our consciousness needs to evolve. We as a species cannot survive if we don't.
No.
We're going to kill ourselves. And that's why I say humanity, we're our own worst enemy.
Or we'll just have the purge.
Stop it with the purge. I mean, if anything we have said here tonight offends you or, triggers you, we're not trying to do that. We're not.
We're
just trying to...
We kept this very general to a sense.
As best as we could.
To the best we could. Not go into full detail or anything like that. But just in a general sense. And, everyone has their opinion.
And everyone's allowed to have that opinion. Mm-hmm. But try not to be a dick about it.
Yes.
You're entitled to your opinion. Just don't be a dick.
No, be a dick. Don't shove it down my damn throat. It is what it is. And it's like, all right. Here I am. I'm listening to what you're saying. I respect what you're saying.
And that's the other thing. We really need to learn how to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that people know how to listen.
No, because the attention span of somebody is not like what? As what Family Guy made the reference, 6 seconds?
Give or take.
The 6 second show?
And that does come down to a lot because of technology and social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honest to God, perfect example. At dinner today, I got a phone call from one of my closest friends. I'm explaining to them the situation that happened earlier today. And meanwhile, my other friends who were there with me could have continued carrying on the conversation with amongst themselves. They went immediately onto their cell phones. Immediately. Mm-hmm. When I go out with some of my friends, everybody's always on their phone. They're looking it up. Perfect example is what happened on 4th of July. Everybody was on their phone at one point, just whatever. And I'm trying to have conversation and everybody's just
on the phone,
looking at their phone. We as a species need to learn need to relearn how to listen, I think.
Yeah, we went to a concert we went to Rob Zombie last year, and every second or third song, he'd be like, everyone get off your fucking phone.
He was screaming about it. Yo, you watch me. You don't need to watch me through the phone camera. You're here.
Mm-hmm.
And I agreed, so I put my camera down.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna basically I'm pretty sure we're pissing off the masses right now, and that's again not our intention.
No.
But we're reaching the hour mark here. I'm not trying to go over an hour with these casts right now. It's also very late. It's Saturday, and him and I have a lot of Pokemoning to do tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
So we need to actually start wrapping it up and going to bed. But because we're old, and it's a Saturday fucking night, and we're about to go to sleep at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, honestly, we're more than likely gonna end up playing some video games.
No, I'm probably gonna open that bottle of Jack.
I'm gonna play some video games.
No, I'll open a bottle of Jack.
Well, you can open up your bottle of Jack. I want to play some video games.
All right, go ahead.
All right then. But now I lost my train of thought. I lost my fucking train of thought. What was I saying?
That we're gonna be Pokemon honey tomorrow.
No. Oh yeah, if we offended you today,
it wasn't our intention.
It wasn't. But I'm not going to apologize for anything we've said here. I'm not.
Because we have not said anything bad. I think.
If you interpret it as what we're taking is bad,
if you interpret it in a way, listen. If you know us privately, call us and say,
and we can open up a discussion.
And we can talk about it. You never know. We could bring you on, and you can voice your opinion if you want. But at the end of the day, like I said, it was not our intention.
We're not sitting here trying to make all of you feel triggered. By the way, please stop using that word. It actually insults people that have actual mental disorders that actually do have triggers. Stop using triggered. Just stop. It's not. You can turn around and say that I have upset someone because that's basically what it is. But to truly trigger another human being is to trigger their mental problem.
Not only that, you're instigating something.
Yeah, you're starting shit.
You're instigating, and I think that's another thing. I'll quickly touch on is that people, whether you intend to or not,
own up to it.
But because sometimes you do or say things to instigate something that didn't need to happen.
It's called stirring the pot.
Stirring the pot. And
what's the one thing that both our mothers and our grandmothers told me and you? If you stir the shit pot, you gotta lick the spoon.
Yeah, basically.
Enjoy that shit taste? No, I don't think so. Stop stirring the shit. Stop it. Stop it. Like, we got a friend, I'm going to say acquaintance because that's what she is. She loves to stir that fucking pot. Mm. She doesn't realize that one day that pot is either going to explode in a massive fecal problem in her face, or she's literally going to wake up one day and find she has no fucking friends.
Or, the shit hit the fan and she's still sitting in front of the fan.
But like we said, what was said here tonight is not meant to offend. It's not meant to upset you. It's literally meant to try to open up your worldview a little bit. Open up your consciousness just a little bit. It's tried to make you see more than just like this and see more like this, more open space.
The bigger picture.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it's only our views of the bigger picture, but here's the wonderful thing about a bigger picture. The more views you have, the bigger the picture it is. Mm-hmm. So if you have anything to say, if you have any issues, if you have any things, please feel free to reach out. You can find the Feinics Gate Podcast on Facebook at the Feinics Gate Podcast. We do have an Instagram. It's at the Feinics Gate on Instagram. You can reach out. Let us know what you feel. If you're watching this video after the live actual debut and you have anything like you want to add or mention to the discussion, please feel free. We are open and to everything. We are not closed-minded, and we love people's opinions here. We do. We love varied opinions. We're never going to shut you down for having one.
And like I said, today, even though today we took a different turn, I would say,
which I would not usually do.
Yeah, like I said,
this is not what the podcast is actually about.
It's not about it. It was just something that, just need to get off
our chest. Like, I have a big chest, so it needs to get off. So I don't be weighed down all the time. So,
but like I said, we also have, everyone has, like I said, opinions and everything like that. But we also have opinions with comic books, TV shows.
Definitely.
Movies,
next week, I'm definitely talking about gargoyles.
Movies and everything like that. So, just because we take
a little turn,
don't take this as this is gonna be an everyday thing. It's
not gospel.
It's not. It's just a once in a blue moon thing that's gonna happen, and that just.
I mean, the thing about the gate, and this is the one thing that I've always said about the Feinics Gate, we will be talking about past, we will be talking about future, and we will focus on the present. And a lot of it does have to do, people say, pop culture usually only refers to movies, TV, video games and stuff like that. No, unfortunately, pop culture could actually turn around to what's happening in popular culture. This is an issue that is in popular culture that most of my people, most of my friends, most of the people that I know will be talking about.
And then go down the road, what will the next generation be remembered as? In the 90s was remembered as what? Music. Grunge, hip-hop, a lot, TV.
The people that were, the people in the 80s were born yuppie greed and,
physical fitness.
Yeah.
The Nintendo generation.
Right. These are all things that they're known for.
And,
what's our generation going to be known for?
What is this generation going to be known for right now? Honestly, in my opinion, comic book movies, the phone. I think this is officially is going to go down with the, changing the game, basically, just like Nintendo changed the world, and later on, Genesis.
Atari did it first.
And Nintendo perfected it.
Whatever. We can have that debate later, but...
Yeah, then, the Xbox, whatever.
Whatever. You're getting off topic here. You're going on a tangent. All we're saying is, let us know what you want us to talk about. I'm totally open to suggestion. Fernando's not always going to be here just because we live together. Doesn't mean he's my co-host.
No.
But one of the things that I would love to hear from is hi, Misfit. This is my cat, Misfit. He likes to be a part of the situation. But I would love to hear your opinions. I would love to hear your views. I would just love to hear it from you. So we're going to say goodnight. Like I said, you can find us on the Feinics Gate podcast on Facebook, the Feinics Gate on Instagram. Check out tomorrow, the Second Rounds on Us Florida edition will be coming to you live on the Second Rounds page. So do me a favor. Give them a like and a link. So again, on IG, they are 2ND Rounds, and we are also the Second Rounds on Facebook. So give them a like, give them some love, and tune in tomorrow for the Florida edition because they're fucking awesome.
Yes, they are.
Misfit, stop. Okay, we love you. Bye.
Bye.
I gotta turn this off now.